Good evening and welcome to the course. This is the Children's Lit course, ENGL3312, Bachelor's of Primary Ed required course, offered online at the University of Belize. This is the second semester I am teaching it. Welcome to the Children's Lit Club. I'm the instructor. My name is Lisa Kyle. I'm the coordinator and the instructor for both sections. I'd like to remind you that communication is the key for successful online classes, not just this one, but all. I like to communicate frequently with my classes. I send by email, using the UB email system. I'll send you weekly updates, personalized grade reports so that you can see what your grade was and if any grade was not recorded. And I'm expecting you, if you see a 0 or a no submission from me, to take the time and respond right away if you had already submitted. I have a young lady from last semester who's missing grades from way back in October who never answered any of these emails for our writing course I taught last semester, and she's now challenging and querying and asking me to give her a passing grade because she says she submitted stuff way back in October that I never saw, and she's claiming it's in the Moodle. And perhaps she's aware, perhaps she's not, but the Moodle page gets dumped at the end of the semester. So if she did submit any of these things, I can't see them. Nobody can see them anymore. It's on you, the student, if you see that I didn't grade some of your work, that I gave you a 0, I didn't see what you uploaded, it's on you to ask me, hey, I uploaded it on such and such a day. Or even better, email me the work and say, here's the work that you missed, okay? Please take responsibility for your grade. Don't assume that you're just going to pass, and don't try to claim afterwards that you submitted stuff after the page is taken down. It's really unfortunate. My policy on late work is that I'd like to help you, but I'm not going to grade the late work until after I've dealt with all the work that was submitted on time. And if you submit too little, too late, you know that you probably will fail. You're all teachers, you know these things. The class is asynchronous, meaning it's not taught live. All of the materials and all of the video lectures are going to be made available week by week for you on the Moodle page. You're free to work at your own pace, but I hid the course and only letting you see weeks 1 and 2 right now. It's a little overwhelming to see the whole course, and also there are a couple little things I want to change. The weekly meetings are not required, and they're not for instruction. If you can make it, you can make it. If not, you can listen to the recording. They're not for instruction, they're for clarification, question and answer, and for forming groups for the group projects, of which we have several, right? Actually, of which we have 2. I should be more accurate. There's not going to be a week 1 meeting because things are a bit disorganized. I'm going to start meeting the second Monday, okay? I'll need to meet between 8 and 4 in the daytime. I can't meet in the evening, which I know is the best for you as working teachers, because unfortunately my internet signal is really weak here in the village. It's because of an upgrade that I got from Digicel, which is really a downgrade. So I have to go to town and use the UB internet to get a good strong connection for our Google Meets. And I'll be setting up a recurring Google Meets for Monday at the same time every week for the rest of the course, so that we can use the same link every week and not be confused. Feel free to email me all of this week, giving me feedback on what would be a good time for you. If I don't manage to set up a good time for you, don't despair. You can present concerns to me by email before the meeting, and then I'll address them, and you can listen to the recording afterwards if you can't make the specific meeting time, okay? So the meet is just for clarification and question and answer, reminders, etc. And the recordings will be made available to everyone. And those of you who cannot attend due to work issues, I totally understand. And I apologize that I cannot meet in the evening, which is when this course was set up, obviously for your convenience. But I don't want you to have the frustration of having to meet with me on my signal drops and the meet drops too. If you're confused about anything, or if Moodle does any of its tricks, and you can't upload an assignment or you can't participate in a forum, please email me right away and let me address it. If you are locked out because of a financial block, please email me. Don't just disappear, because that is not going to be good for your grade. If you just disappear and all your work just doesn't show. I'll work with you without using Moodle. Moodle gets blocked to you when you don't pay, and that's how people fail, right? So I'll work with you. I understand. For all classes, you need to make sure that you keep your work. Remember, you might have sent it to me and I didn't get it, and now I want it again. The excuse that your laptop failed or your flash drive failed is not a valid one. You need to have a backup system. I recommend Google Drive. That's what I use. I know it's not environmentally conscious. I think they use more electricity to keep all that stuff in the cloud than all of Belize uses every year. But as long as they're maintaining this service and it's free, we might as well use it. You've got Google storage with your Gmail account. You've got it with your UB account and with your personal Gmail account also. And that is right there, right? The little waffle looking thing, that's where you go. It makes a drop down menu. I know you probably know this, I'm just going over it for those who don't, because there's always somebody who doesn't. New docs, you can make them there. And then the drive, you can find your stored docs, okay? And then here's a link that I created for a course outline. And I went to the share button, and I just need to go over this because people have trouble. When I'm sharing with people a Google Doc, I have to go to this button, right? If I try to copy and paste this, it won't share. It's just like, I know you know this, right? But usually there's at least somebody who tries to do this, so don't do that. Remember to go to the share button when sharing work and posting it on Moodle, posting stuff in forums, etc. And make sure to look at the sharing settings. Here you can see that I am posting this work under my personal email address, because the sharing settings don't work very well with work that is stored under the UB email address. It only wants to share with people who are browsing using that same Chrome identification, right? That Chrome profile. So all the work for your course I have posted using my personal Gmail, because it can be shared with anyone. Okay. What you need to do is make sure that anyone on the internet with this link can view is highlighted. That's what you want right there, okay? If not, you need to change it and make it be like that. The default is private only to me, and if you try to share within the University of Belize email, you get anyone in the University of Belize email system can view. And that's really annoying, and it's hard for us to view, right? So I'm going to share with my personal email when I give you docs, and I recommend that you do too. Okay, so I have two email addresses. Always email me at the UB email address. That's our official communication as student teacher. And I will put up docs under this under this email address, which is personal. And the reason that I'm using it is because I can share with anyone. And if I use my UB email, I can only share with people who are browsing under the UB email ID. Okay? So all the links are stored stored on the drive for the second email address, the personal one, right? But you should email me using the first one, and you should always use your UB email also when emailing me, right? And log into my Google Meets. Once we set the time, we're going to use our Google Meets. Use your UB email to attend the Google Meet, or else I have to click you in. I teach a course asynchronously, so you can work at your own pace. Course outline is set up. I actually have all the dates in. I'm not sure if I'll take anything out. There is a lot of work. If we get bogged down, I might take out not a presentation, but possibly one of the lessons. I have hidden the course. You can only see weeks 1 and 2, but you can get started. I want to meet with you once a week, and you can ask questions. And remember, please don't ask the questions that are answered by the course outline. It's done, and the dates are actually done. and you can view it. You should view it. In the first week, you should look it over carefully. And never ask me questions, please, that are already in there. For example, what is the week's topic? What are the due dates? All of those things are already in the course outline, right? So try to keep that in mind. An overview of the course. It's all about literature and literacy. So you will have to have at least one live child. I know some people are telling me, last semester people told me they had no access to children whatsoever. You need a child, at least one child. Could be your own child, could be a niece, nephew, etc. Child should be primary school age, and you need to work with the child, at least one child. There's a read aloud, and we are substituting this for the practicum that we used to do, where we did a read aloud with a class, and you'll need to read aloud to a child and video it. It's a major assignment in the course, using the read aloud techniques. You'll need to document a project in which you use a reading interest survey and some other techniques to help a child develop literacy. Once again, could be your own child, could be a relative, any child that you can safely interact with and read with. Some students actually did this particular assignment partially online, with when they couldn't meet, or if the child got sick or anything. You can do it partially online if the child's old enough to go online and talk to you. Okay, so there will be working with a live child involved. You'll have to write literature-based lesson plans, and if your field is math or whatsoever, literature works in every subject area. Children's Lit is versatile. The final will require you to illustrate and write in verse, meaning it rhymes, a portion of a children's book that is in progress that I am using my classes to help me write, and I'm hoping to get you to publish. So it's a great project, and I'm looking forward to your contribution. For now, don't get overwhelmed by all the stuff, right? There's a lot on your table, but it's coming up slowly and in proper order. So for the first 2 weeks, there's a short reading for you to do, and then you should reflect. There's a self-quiz for you to reflect on what you know and don't know about Children's Lit. It's just for you to look at and not write on. So don't try to write on the document, just look at it and reflect to yourself. Okay, I get a lot of people trying to ask to edit the document. No, the document's for everybody. It's not for you to write on. Think of your own thoughts. This is supposed to open your schema. Okay, so it's an ungraded thing in the first week. Read, do a little self-quiz to see what you know and don't know about Children's Lit and genres and history, etc. Okay? And it's not graded. The second week has a lot though, and it's a graded assessment. And for the second week, you will read the rest of the chapter, which is on the history of Children's Lit, view the PowerPoint on the history of Children's Lit, and then watch my video presentation that I have posted on Moodle for the second week, so that you can see what we will be doing. We were going to be looking at classic Children's Lit first, and you'll be choosing with group members a Children's Lit book that is in the classic books. There's a list of them in the reading. And you'll summarize and analyze it as a group of 2, 3, or 4. If you want to work alone, that's fine. There are enough books that everyone can choose one. When we have our first meeting in week 2, be ready with suggestions about which group members you would like to work with. Otherwise, I'll assign you a group, and you can always choose to work alone. So, that's the course. Welcome to it. I'm really glad to see a lot of the names on Zen. There are people that I know and recognize. So, if you're familiar, welcome back. I'm glad to be working with you. And if you're new, welcome to the wonderful world of Children's Lit.